Hello, welcome. Marlene here. For today's project, we're coloring our cookie dough and skipping kind of the base icing, so very little icing. I'm using this product. It is by DripColor. It's called ColorMix. This particular bottle has 6 colors in there. I'm only using the Halloween colors, so I'm leaving out the blue and red, and I'm going to be kneading that in my freshly made dough. That is a very important part. Do not refrigerate the dough first. You want to knead the powder in there while it's soft and malleable, and then once you've got it all kind of combined, then you can chill it if you want to. But again, chilled dough is much harder to roll, and you need to roll this very thin, so you're probably better to start rolling as soon as you've finished pigmenting it. So roll it on a piece of parchment paper and pop it in the freezer. This is an image of rolling guides. This is to help you maintain a consistent thickness when you roll your cookies. So if normally you roll your cookies at 1/4 inch, you want to roll this colored dough at 1/8 of an inch. You want it at about half of your cookies. And so it's easier to roll a very thin layer of dough when it's room temperature. Rolling chilled dough is difficult. It becomes very firm. Once you've rolled it, ideally on parchment paper, place it in the freezer. This will chill it up, and it will give you much sharper lines when you cut your cookies. And then again, put them back in the freezer. You need them frozen rock hard for the next step. Here is my dough. It's rolled to 1/4 inch room temperature, so important. And now I'm adding my colored bits, which are in frozen. They're frozen. I'm adding them to the dough. And so if I don't want them to get all warped, I have to add them to the dough completely rock solid and work as quickly as you can to get them on there so that they don't have time to thaw out. And try to alternate your colors so that you get them on there, you know, in a nice pattern. Oh, here, let's put a pumpkin here. Like I say, try to work as quickly as you can. Alright, so I've got them on now. Now it's important to use a clean piece of parchment paper so that you don't transfer the chocolate dough to your rolling pin and, you know, maybe potentially get some chocolate on this bright color. And now we're squishing the colored frozen cookies into the dough. Here's a little close-up. You can see all the dough is flush and level, and now you can use the cookie cutter of your choice to cut out these shapes. Ideally, you need a fairly large cutter to fit as many of those small cookies within the shape. All right, and now we're removing the excess dough and not the actual cookies so that we can get our leaves as perfect as possible. So I'm lifting that off. Here I'm using a fondant tool to get into the small areas. Again, try not to touch your actual cookies. Once the cookies were rolled and ready to go, I did put them in the freezer again just to chill up that chocolate dough to make sure that everything was nice and firm before baking them, and then I baked them as usual. Same temperature, same everything. You do want to watch them a little bit more because if the cookie's brown, well, those colors will get kind of dingy, but you can see here the gorgeous color, just beautiful up against that chocolate dough, and I want to really maximize the beauty of this. So I'm just adding a small border, and I'm adding a little stitch at the perimeter of the colored dough. The smaller the colored cookies, the more kind of full shapes you'll be able to fit on the chocolate cookie, if that makes sense. So try to dig through your cutters and find your mini cookie cutters. And right now, if you look on Etsy, there's a lot of people selling for polymer clay. So it's the same kind of 3D cutters that you would use for cookie dough, but they're using them for polymer, but they're tiny, really small. Maybe you can look at that for some mini shapes that would work for a concept like this. But as you can see, it's pretty straightforward here. I'm just adding a little in and out stitch around the flower, and then once you're done, you can just set them aside to dry, and then you can either individually wrap them or serve them on a platter. Let me know what you think. I actually prefer my cookies with no icing, so for me, with regards to taste, this is my preferred option. Here they are. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe you'll try something a little different this year. Again, ColorMix by DripColor. And you can buy the containers color by color. You can get this rainbow bottle where you have 6 colors in there. And here they are on a platter. You can see how graphic and beautiful it looks. This concept would work for really any occasion. Here is a Halloween version. So I cut out my little characters and squished them once again in that chocolate dough, and I really love how these turned out. So I hope you enjoyed today's project. Thanks so much for watching. Don't hesitate to ask any questions, and I'll see you in the next cookie tutorial.